And on day 2 of the Global Entrepreneurship Summit 2017, Ivanka Trump spoke about the female participation in the workforce. Speaking at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit plenary session on the issue of innovations in workforce development and skills training, Ivanka talked about the importance of public-private participation for women empowerment.
So we just have to fundamentally change things. It's starting to happen in the corporate world, albeit typically at larger companies, not smaller companies. It's a lot harder in terms of flexibility. Traditionally for people in tech and in finance, making more money, not for women working at the lower income end of the spectrum. So I think that's where government policy comes in, and we need to start thinking about ways to support the modern workforce and the modern reality of dual income households. I think technology is a great driver of entrepreneurship because a lot of women are leaving and saying this doesn't work for me, and it's emboldening them to go out on their own. Technology is reducing barriers to starting new businesses. It's creating flexibility around schedule. So you can work just as many hours or more, but maybe you work some of them after you've put your child to sleep from your living room or from your kitchen table. So I think technology offers tremendous opportunities to women. So much of what was said was deeply inspiring, and I agree with wholeheartedly. So one thing I'd just like to throw out there is these aren't women's issues. We're half the population. So we have to just start thinking about them as critical issues, not women's issues. So the role of strong male voices in this conversation, to Sherry's point, is very, very important. Also, going back to something else you said, Sherry, I think one of the reasons we're seeing an explosion of women's entrepreneurship is because traditional workplaces often haven't worked for us.
The Global Entrepreneurship Summit is focusing on women this year. Our business correspondent Sumit Chaturvedi interacted with an American entrepreneur who is also the cultural ambassador for New Orleans. She talked about her experience doing business as a woman. Take a look.
We're joined here by Tian Sherelle. She runs a business over there in US, and she is an entrepreneur herself. Here you heard Ivanka Trump talking about a lot of issues, in fact, women issues especially. How encouraged are you with her point of view? And coming to India, what do you find India has different in terms of startup culture when it comes to US?
Well, I think that it seems to be a lot more support with her being here. I think that her presence is going to help other people here in India to support each other and help women who aspire to have their own businesses. So I think that this coalition is going to be a great one.
And today there was a discussion between Ivanka Trump and also other women. They're entrepreneurs or from the different walks of life, and what they emphasized in this the need for more support for women. As women, what do you think are the difficulties you are facing as an entrepreneur, and what should be done to solve it?
I believe that funding is always an issue for women in business. It's very difficult for a woman to find the means financially to start her business or to maintain her business. So the biggest issue is always about the money.
And being Ivanka Trump here and she there in US also, does that encourage you encourage you in some way so that you also take risks, take chances? And does that, being her being here and her being in US, does that encourage you?
I believe that it can be encouraging. I think that this is a platform that inspires you to do more. So I would say yes.
And being Ivanka Trump, being her here also helps you a lot.
I think it does. It creates a nice presence in the press.
The press also, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Our correspondent also, Archit Sheshadri, earlier spoke to Rajya Sabha MP and media mogul Dr. Subhash Chandra on women empowerment and future of cinema. Take a look.
One of the important themes for this year's Global Entrepreneurship Summit is Women First, Prosperity for All, and that is something that is resonating with many of the speakers and the attendees. In fact, I'm now joined by our chairman, Dr. Subhash Chandra, who in fact moderated a panel here about the future of cinema, talking about the importance of the direction it needs to go. Dr. Chandra, thank you so much for talking to us. Pleasure to have you.
Pleasure.
You brought up a good point about in Bollywood specifically how producers, and it's not a cohesive environment, and people are out to get each other. Elaborate a little bit about what you meant.
See, the people, because this is used to be traditionally an industry which was working based on the individual's talent and individual's ability to attract people. And some people will, due to one film or the other, will get connected with the audiences. And so they were always anxiety when the day of release of the film, whether the film will work with the audience or not. And that's why they would always, I don't know, it's a typical of Bollywood that one producer will not be happy if somebody else's film is making success. So, and that's why my question was. But now, current times, there are young producers, those who are coming with the well-researched, well-created screenplay and everything. And so we are seeing more and more success rate in the industry.
Let me also ask you about women empowerment. It's one of the biggest themes this year. We've seen the cases in Hollywood with Harvey Weinstein. Ivanka Trump also addressed a lot about equality. And many of the other speakers from an Indian perspective as well. What is your opinion about equality for women and where women need to go to? Our Miss World, in fact, Manushi Chilar, also talking about that during her answer.
I've been talking about it for many, many years now. I personally feel and say that women is symbol of power. Women should recognize their strengths. They are, to my mind, they are far better than men. So women equality and empowerment and things like that is made by the male world. The women themselves have to recognize that they are power, they are Shakti. They are much more powerful than men. And once they start believing that in themselves, they will not need to ask any of these things.
India certainly got a huge platform, a huge stage. Hyderabad being the first time this is being held in South Asia, the summit. How excited does that make you feel that India is playing host to such a huge summit, bringing in so many entrepreneurs from around the world and really putting India on the global map, something that you are very passionate about with our channel, WION, as well?
Well, India is doing lots of things for the first time. Under the able leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's put India definitely in a situation where he's saying we are no less than anyone else. And so the world is also awakening to India. There is a lot of interest in India. And so people want to come. People want to have curiosity to learn about India. And that's why even WION, I would say that if we do our jobs right, I'm sure WION will be a great success across the globe.
All right, Dr. Chandra, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. That was Dr. Subhash Chandra, getting perspective, speaking here at the 8th Annual Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Hyderabad. Reporting outside of the Hyderabad International Convention Center, Archit Seshadri, WION.